Okay, next we're going to install FactoryTalk View Studio. Before we can do this, we have to set up IIS, Internet Information Services. And so we'll do this by going to our control panel. We click on Add Remove Programs, and Windows Components. Then you see here, Add Remove Windows Components. Click on it. And then what we want to do is add this one right here. Internet Information Services, IIS. And we want to click on that. Now you'll need your CD, your original installation CD, either on the CD or the USB stick you had it on. You'll need this to install this. So be sure your CD is in, and it doesn't have to be a Service Pack 3. It could be Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3, whatever Service Pack you use to set up. Just put in that original CD or USB stick, and it'll get the Internet Information Services off of that. Now remember, it had to be Pro to set up. If you don't have Pro, you don't have Internet Information Services. So click Next, and then it'll get it off your CD. If you change your CD letter, since you've installed it, it'll say it's trying to find it, and it'll give you a path with a different CD number and the original CD letter. Just change that. Say it was D when you installed, and then you change it to E or F. Just change your first letter to E or F and leave the path alone. Don't go browsing for it, and it'll find it and set up Internet Information Services for you. Now this is required before you can set up FactoryTalk View Studio. If you don't install it, it'll let you make a local HMI, but you can't make a network HMI without FactoryTalk, without Internet Information Services with FactoryTalk View Studio. Okay, it's finished. It's just that quick. Okay, now we can set up FactoryTalk View Studio. And again, I want you to do this as an administrator. So, if you're not an administrator, get an administrator to give you the password or do this for you, and run it as an administrator and put in your password. If you're an administrator already, like I am, you can just go ahead and run this application. Now the problem is, since this is on a map drive, if I'm an administrator and I have a map drive and the administrator hasn't mapped my drive, when I click OK, it'll say it can't find it because I haven't mapped that drive as an administrator. So you have to make sure you have the same map drives if you're using as an administrator. Otherwise, set it up as if you are an administrator yourself, which I am. We go to Control Panel and Users. You'll see I'm a computer administrator already. I've set myself up as a computer administrator. So you can click on your file and you can say change my account type. As an administrator can do this for you, and they can change you to a computer administrator, or you got to allow the computer administrator to set this up for you. Okay, so once you're a computer administrator, that's so everybody who logs in can use the program. We'll just go ahead and double click. And install FactoryTalk View Site Edition. Now this is Site Edition, SE, it's Machine Edition, ME, and Site Client. And they call it FactoryTalk View Studio when it's finished. So first we uninstall FactoryTalk Site View Edition. If there is a previous edition, it'll uninstall it. And what it's going to do is uninstall these softwares right here and reinstall it. I don't know why. It just wants to uninstall it and reconfigure it. So we'll go ahead and uninstall it and hit OK. Now this program takes about 20 minutes to set up. It takes a little while. It takes a little while. When we get to the web install, this web services, it takes about 5 minutes or more just to get the web services configured, and it looks like it's locked up, but it's not. It's working. Okay, next is step 2. Install the FactoryTalk service platform. And here it'll have FactoryTalk Diagnostics and the firewall utility. And we went from 2.3 to 2.301. So install. And it says you must shut down the SoftLogix chassis monitor. Notice in slot 1 I left it empty. That's move your stuff. If you have a ControlLogix processor in there, a SoftLogix processor in there, and some other stuff, move that slot 1, because when we're finished, we're going to put in RSLinx Enterprise, and that allows this HMI software to communicate with the processors in this rack. And remember, we can have up to 6 processors. And this one RSLinx, just like Classic, this Enterprise will allow the HMI software to talk to all these processors. So clear out slot 1 and make sure that's empty. And then move your stuff over. Give yourself a blank slot 1. At the end of this, we're going to put RSLinx Enterprise in there. Come down to our icon notifications. Move over top of our SoftLogix monitor and right click and say shut down monitor. Shut down monitor. And then retry. Okay, we just hit next for the FactoryTalk Services platform, accept, and hit next. And we want the standard installation, and hit next, and install. This takes a few minutes now. It'll pop up a little DOS window and configure the FactoryTalk directory. That's for the network communications. Okay, we just hit finish. And next we install the FactoryTalk View Site Edition. Install FactoryTalk View Site Edition. And it says this will automatically terminate any Rockwell software processes. Make sure they're shut down before you proceed. And we say yes, proceed. Now this says web services, signature, new signature 115. This is configuring web services. And this takes about 5 to 7 minutes to do. This will last at least 5 minutes. So don't think it's locked up. It's actually working. If you hear the hard drive, it's running in the background. It's working. So don't think it's locked up. Don't hit cancel. Just let it run. It takes about 5 minutes. The hard drive is still running away. It's just running and running and running. So don't think it's locked up, and don't hit reboot. Don't cancel or restart your computer. You'll mess up the installation. Just continue on. Just let it sit there and do its thing. Like I said, it'll take about another 3-4 minutes before it's finished. Hard drive's still running. It's still running. It takes a while. Still setting up. Still working. It's still working, guys. Don't think it's locked up. It just takes a while. I said it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to set this up. That's just the web services. And then it'll take about 7 to 10 minutes to set up the actual program itself. And then we have to install RS Links Enterprise. It should be getting close now, any minute. Any minute. Okay, there, we're ready. Okay, welcome to the installation wizard. This is for FactoryTalk View Site Edition 6. So we hit next, next, and we accept the license terms and say next. And we have to put in our number. So again, we'll go to our README activation instructions, and we copy in the Rockwell activation number for all products. We copy, and then we're going to paste that in to our serial number here, and next. Again, put in your username and dot for your organization, and next. And we're going to do a complete install. Install all FactoryTalk View Site Edition development and runtime software on this computer. Select this option even if you intend to use this computer as a standalone HMI, or if you just wish to install all components even if some are not used. And that's what we want. We want everything and a standalone HMI. So we hit next, complete, and next. And pick the destination drive. Mine's XP. I'm running on XP. Mine happens to be on E. Your may be on C. I have several operating systems on here, so you pick your one with XP on it, and yours will probably be C drive, and hit next. Okay. You see we've installed FactoryTalk activation, specified the directory for the server, and launch release notes. Hit finish. And here it wants you to the hosting directory server connected. If we click on this button here, it asks for a logon, and you put in your name. Mine is Windows user, and my password is password. And I hit OK, and it's going to be on this computer. The FactoryTalk directory installation will be on this computer. Hit OK, then hit OK. There's the release notes. Now it should ask to install the HASP dongle drivers, where you can move your license back and forth between computers. We don't need that, so we'll cancel that. And it says, do you want to restart your computer now? Let's say no, because we want to install RS Linux Enterprise. We already have Classic installed, so click no. Now we want to install RS Linux Classic because this is actually light, and we've got the real thing with OPC and DDE drivers on it for dynamic data exchange and object linking and embedding for process control. All we need is RS Linux Enterprise. Now you remember when we had SoftLogix up there, SoftLogix had an empty space. We allowed slot 1 for RS Linux Enterprise. Once we install this and reboot, that will show up in slot 1. So install RS Linux Enterprise, click on it. Click next, accept the terms, and next. And we want the standard feature set installation, and hit next. Standard feature set, next, and install. Okay. Just hit exit, reboot, and we'll take a look at it when it comes back up. Okay, we're booted back up, and SoftLogix started up automatically. And as you see here in slot 1, we have RS Linux Enterprise. So here's Classic, it says software's running, and here we have Enterprise, and it says communications adapter. So we're good to go there. If we go to Start and All Programs, you'll see it added a FactoryTalk View Studio to the menu. Just hold down Control and push down your mouse and drag that out to your desktop. We'll put that up there. But if we go to our All Programs, RS Linux Software, RS Rockwell Software, go to FactoryTalk View, you'll see we have FactoryTalk View Site Edition client and FactoryTalk View Studio. And we have a samples water. So if we click on Studio, you see we have a Site Edition, Network Edition, where you have multiple computers, where you can have HMIs, multiple computers. We have a Site Edition Local, which is an HMI just on your working computer, your engineering station right there. And then we have Machine Edition. And Machine Edition is for programming panel views and stuff like that that have ME built into them as a runtime environment for the HMI. We're going to click on a Site Edition Local. Before you do this, you should make sure, I should have told you that, you should make sure that you have your computer named. Mine is 960 SoftLogics. You may have some long name, and you may want to rename your computer so you can hit cancel and close out. It's probably already been set up, but and you can change the name of your computer. You shouldn't do it after you set up FactoryTalk View Studio. You should do this before you set up FactoryTalk View Studio for the directory so it can find it. After you set up FactoryTalk View Studio, do not change your machine name. It may mess up the directory. So you notice it checked out an AV RSI activation, RSI master disk with serial number. So we're activated. Let's go ahead and do an instant fizz. We can do a test local. And it says this application will be converted to FactoryTalk View Site Edition 6 and cannot be undone. So it was created in an earlier version. I thought I named this the 960 SoftLogics, but evidently I named it PLC SoftLogics. So okay. Here we see under our networks and devices, we see our Ethernet or Ethernet IP. We see our addresses of our equipment. We got displays. We see we got all kind of different displays like PID, auto tune. Different displays. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let's start it up. Let's close this out. And let's start it up in Instant Fizz. I may have to restart to get to Instant Fizz. Let me start it up in Instant Fizz. Now you see you have RS Links Enterprise for your communications. Here's your communication setup. I've got a processor up here, and because I got a processor, this shows up. If I didn't have a processor in my SoftLogics, I'd have a grayed out window right here. Here's your communications tab. You have to add a new device to do this. We'll go through configuration on in the lesson plans. So we'll have some lessons at learncontrolsystems.com. You go to PLCs and then lessons, and then you'll pick FactoryTalk View Studio, and we'll show you how to step through this one step at a time. These are just some displays they have. Make this big. Filling, count, overview, mixing, labeling, filling. It just shows you what you can do with it. Now these are basic graphics that are put behind it, and then we put these bottles and we animate this with ActiveX. Okay, and then these are just labels we've added with text on top that have information. All right, we're set up and ready to go. As you see, we're activated. Everything's licensed, and we're good to go.